My dreams are nightmares. How can I sleep? You got the gun against me.
What's going on, everybody? KingofDragons 5000 here, coming at you with another figure review. Today we'll be having a look at the Mattel WWE Elite Collection Series 80 Erik. And so here we have Erik posing out of the packaging. Before we take a look at the figure, let's actually run through his accessories really fast. Erik here does come with two pairs of hands. We do get a pair of grip hands. We get a pair of style pose hands. We get his War Raider helmet, which does look nice. And then we do get his shoulder pauldron. And then we get his entrance gauntlet. Other than that, we don't get anything else with Erik here. Unfortunately, he doesn't come with a pair of fists, which I think is necessary. So with that out of the way, guys, let's actually have a closer look at Erik. So here we have a closer look at Erik, and I think Mattel has done a job with this figure. There's a lot of things that they could have done better with this figure, and as nice as a figure as Ivar was, I kind of wish the same care went into Erik. Now, in a vacuum, this is a pretty impressive figure, and I do say in a vacuum, and I want to stress this enough, as an individual figure, Erik here is a fantastic figure in terms of detail and paint applications, but in terms of what he's supposed to be, he has quite a bit of issues, so let's actually run through that really fast. The head sculpt, really do like the head sculpt. I'm normally not a fan of yelling expressions, but I think it works here, especially for the Viking Raiders. I think I called him a War Raider at the beginning of the video. If I did, sorry. He's a War Raider in my opinion. But anyway, we do have a really nice expression here, and I do like the face paint right here. I do enjoy the fact that he is bald. That does make posing him a little bit easier, but just like with most characters with a beard, the beard is a solid piece of plastic and part of the head sculpt, so you're really not going to get too much movement out of that, which is unfortunate. So the head sculpt looks really nice. I am not a fan of them painting the beard and then leaving the photoreal on the beard. If they're going to do this, they should just go all the way with the paint. Might as well just paint the beard and not photoreal that. It just looks kind of sloppy, and it's weird seeing a square patch right there. Nobody's beard is actually like that unless they dye it. So, head sculpt aside, let's actually have a look at his torso now. Erik is a big dude. This is not a big dude torso. If I can just bring out his partner. This is a big dude torso. Now, they're supposed to be a combined 620 some pounds, which means each of them should each weigh about 300 pounds. He looks like he weighs 300 pounds. He looks like he weighs about 200. Quite honestly, they had the wrong body with this figure, and it sucks because this is a really nice looking figure. It just isn't that well executed. So we do have his tattoo that says true till death. Then we have the eagle with the X, and then we do have the tattoo right here on his stomach. We have this beautiful sleeve right here going down, just a lot of detailing here, and unfortunately they did get a little bit of his tattoo right there, but it's not a big deal. We do have a rose right here. Then we do have some more tattoos on this arm. As you can see, he's just tatted up, which is a really, really nice detail. I really do like the tattoos, and I do like the fact that his elbow pad has some detailing, although I'm not a fan of the smaller arms like this, getting this Undertaker elbow pad. They have big elbow pads for these arms. Why don't they use them? I don't understand why they stopped using those elbow pads. They either give us the really small ones or the really large ones. There's an in-between size. Use it, Mattel. Really do like his entrance, or not his entrance gear, his wrestling gear, where you can see the straps, and then it does look like leather going around. The studs are painted, not perfect, but they are painted, which I gotta give Mattel credit for at least attempting to paint them. But yeah, he does look like a bigger dude, but he needs to be bigger, and it really does show when you have a look at his legs. His legs are skinny. He's a big dude. Why did they give him such skinny little legs? These are like Randy Orton length legs. He's not a lanky guy. He's a big guy, so he should be just a few legs lengths thinner than Ivar here, and oh, why is he so thin? I just don't understand it. And then it's not even the worst offender of the legs. We'll get to that. Don't get me wrong, we will get to that. They did at least try to paint his knee pads right here, and then we get the short knee pads, which we saw with Ivar. Now, the biggest offense of this figure, he has Johnny Gargano syndrome. I don't even know why Mattel even has this sculpt. This is a terrible, terrible kick pad, and poor Erik here has such a nice look, but oh, his kick pad should be going all the way to his knee pad right here. Why doesn't it? Why did they go the Johnny Gargano route? I never understand this. This is such a terrible design. Mattel needs to scrap this. Never do it again. Nobody wears kick pads and then socks with the same design of the kick pads. This is terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible by every sense of the word terrible. They did include the writing right here, which is nice, but it should be going all the way up and down his kick pad. But they don't have his kick pad going all the way up because they gave him the stupid Kevin Owens Johnny Gargano kick pad, which not a fan of it. Not a fan of how this figure came out. There's so many things that they could have done differently on Erik here, and like I said, in a vacuum, individually, he's a pretty nicely detailed figure, and if you didn't know anything about Erik, you could still have this as a wrestler. But because this is supposed to be Erik, why does it have so many issues? And I do need to point this out really fast. Erik and Rowan are billed at 6'1" and 6'2", with Erik being 6'1" and Ivar being 6'2". He towers over him. This is not 6'2" and 6 foot. This is like 5'10" and 6'6". They got the scale completely wrong, and it's terrible, in all honesty. If they're gonna scale one up, scale both of them up, because this figure is a huge letdown, in my honest opinion. So, with that out of the way, guys, let's actually get him compared to other figures you may have in your collection. And so here we have Erik posed next to a WWE Ultimate Edition's Brock Lesnar and a basic Jeff Hardy. And so here we have Erik posed next to fellow Viking Raider Ivar. So with the comparisons out of the way, let's actually move on to his articulation now. Erik here does have a ball joint in the head, which does let him look up a little bit. He can't really look down because of his beard, and then he only turns left and right to about right there. Once again, because the beard does get in the way. He does have ball joints in the shoulder, which do go out to about there. They do go all the way around. We have a bicep swivel, works no problem. Getting that elbow pad off. He does have a single bend at the knee, swivel at the wrist, as well as a hinge, which works fine. He does have an ab crunch, but it doesn't go that far back. But it does go a decent amount forward, so I gotta give it credit for that. We do have waist swivel, which works fine. Then we have his foot, which kicks out to about there, goes back, out to the side, no problem. I think that's better than we saw with Ivar, so that's pretty good. He does have a thigh swivel up high. Oh, stiff knee joint right there. And actually, oh dang, that's really stiff. That's the first time I moved that joint, but yeah, he does have double bend at the knee going about that far, so that's pretty good. We do have rotation at the calf. We do have a hinge in the foot, which goes back and forward, and then of course we do have rocker ankle. So overall, Erik here in a vacuum would be a good figure on his own, but unfortunately I have to grade it on what it's supposed to represent, and it doesn't do a good job representing the actual character. So with that out of the way, guys, let's just move on to my final thoughts, and then we'll wrap up this review. And so here we have Erik posed, and for my final thoughts, and overall this is it's a different figure. Don't get me wrong, the detailing on him is great for what Mattel did detail wise. I think that it's really spot on. The tattoos look really nice, and I really do like the way the head came out, and with the entrance gear he looks really nice. But And I do have to stress this, he is incredibly wrong. There's a lot of things wrong with this figure in general, with the length of his legs, the thickness of his legs, those stupid Johnny Gargano kick pads which nobody is a fan of. It's just really hard for me to actually recommend this figure, just because Mattel could have done so many things differently. They could have used the Tensai body. Have they ever used the Tensai body outside of Lord Tensai? I honestly don't think they did. I would even take a Samoa Joe torso over this one, just because this one doesn't feel like it's big enough. Erik here is a much bigger guy, and the fact that he's about the same size as Jeff Hardy in terms of height and size is kind of strange. He's supposed to be a much broader character, and unfortunately Mattel failed in capturing the look of that on TV. Quite honestly, the basics figures are much better than this one, and it's really hard for me to recommend Erik here for WWE fans, just because of how much Mattel screwed up on it. Now, unfortunately, this is the only Elite Erik figure that we've gotten, and chances are if they remake this figure, it's going to look the exact same. They're not going to improve anything on it, so chances are the basics are probably going to be better, which is a little bit of a shame. I think there's some customizers that can probably do a better job than Mattel, but it's really hard for me to recommend this figure. But like I said, if they do have another crack at Erik here, they're going to use the same formula. Like, that's Mattel's MO, unfortunately. So the verdict is up to you if you guys want to have Erik in your collection. Of course, I have him because I bought the entire wave, and he kind of looks okay next to Ivar. I can't really say too many nice things about the way the figure looks, because even though he has a lot of nice detailing, the scale is completely wrong, unfortunately. So with that being said, guys, I'm KingofDragons 5000. Don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel. Go ahead and check out all my other action figure reviews, as well as all my other WWE videos. Hopefully you find them informative. As always, if there's a figure you would like to see me review, let me know down in the comments, and if it's in my collection, I'll definitely have a look at it. While you're at it, check out my Instagram account for new and exciting action figure photos, and as always, ring that bell to be notified every time I upload a video. Until next time, guys, I'll see you later. Take care, everyone.